Chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven has silenced the noise around you so that nothing stands between you and this moment. You did not stumble upon this message by chance. The pull that brought you here was divine. A whisper older than time has returned to awaken something deep within you. You have felt it for years, an invisible calling, tugging at your heart, telling you that you were made for something greater, something unseen. You've tried to silence that voice before, to live like everyone else, to fit into patterns that never suited your soul. Yet every time you tried to settle, something inside of you stirred again. You could not drown the whisper, because the whisper was heaven itself calling your name. That is why you're here now, because it's finally time to be told everything. You have walked through dark corridors of confusion, through heartbreaks that made no sense, through nights where you questioned your worth. But those moments were never punishment. They were preparation. The fire you endured was the furnace where your strength was forged. Every unanswered prayer was not rejection, it was redirection. Heaven was positioning you, hiding you, waiting for the appointed hour. And that hour begins now. The voice that once spoke in dreams and signs is now speaking plainly. It says, "You were never ordinary. You were not designed to live in shadows or silence. You were created as a vessel of revelation to carry light into places others fear to go. The world will call it coincidence, but you will know it as confirmation. As declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 8, verse 17, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open." This is that unveiling. The hidden things are being revealed. The patterns that once confused you are aligning into divine order. You are beginning to see what heaven has been orchestrating in secret. What was once mystery will now become mission. You were chosen not to observe prophecy, but to fulfill it. Think about the years that seemed wasted, the doors that slammed shut, the people who walked away. Those were not losses, they were removals. Heaven was pruning you for clarity, cutting away distractions so that when this moment arrived, your spirit would recognize it instantly. And now it does. That's why your heart races. As you read these words, you are remembering something your spirit already knew. You have felt isolated, misunderstood, even invisible. But heaven hides what it values most. Diamonds form in darkness, not on display. The silence you thought was abandonment was actually sacred protection. While you thought nothing was happening, angels were arranging everything. While you waited, you were being written into prophecy. Now the whisper becomes a command. Rise. Step out of the version of yourself that pain created. Step into the identity heaven intended. The doubts, the fears, the second guessing, they can't follow you into this new chapter. What's opening before you isn't random, it's written. The coordinates of your destiny have been locked into heaven's design since before you were born. And you, yes, you are standing at the threshold. Heaven has chosen this exact moment, this precise date, for your awakening. Every delay now makes sense. Every disappointment was divine choreography. You are not lost, you are aligned. So listen closely. This is not just another message online. This is heaven's announcement that the silence is over. The secrets are being revealed. The time of hiding is finished. You will understand why the pain had to happen, why the separation was necessary, and why the whisper never stopped calling you. Now, take a small step of faith. If you know this message speaks directly to your spirit, do one simple act to anchor it like this. Message. Share it, so another hidden one can awaken. And subscribe, so you do not miss the next word heaven releases. When you have done that, go to the comments and type 777. That number is not random. It represents divine completion and alignment. It declares that what was hidden is now revealed, and what was delayed is now released. You are not just hearing words, you are witnessing the beginning of your unveiling. The same voice that formed galaxies is now stirring your name. Do not ignore it. This is the whisper that started it all, returning in power to tell you everything. You feel the air shift around you, heavenly confirmation settling like light on your skin. The message is sealed within you now. Nothing can stop what has begun. The whisper will follow you, guide you, and remind you, this is the hour you were created for. You were never ordinary. That truth alone shakes the foundation of everything the world told you to believe about yourself. From birth, your life has carried an invisible distinction, something others could not quite name but always sensed. You have been marked by difference, and for years, that difference felt like a curse. But what if it was never rejection? What if it was divine recognition? Since childhood, you have felt the tension of two realms, the visible world that demands conformity and the unseen one that keeps calling you to rise above it. You have always perceived what others missed. You noticed patterns, signs, and shifts that went unnoticed by those around you. While others chased noise, you were drawn to silence. While others sought validation, your spirit craved truth. That hunger set you apart. And though it cost you comfort, it proved something heaven has always known: you were never meant to blend in. Your difference frightened people who could not understand it. They saw your light and mistook it for arrogance. They sensed your depth and called it strangeness. They rejected what they couldn't explain. And in doing so, they confirmed what heaven already declared: you are chosen. Your pain in being misunderstood was the mark of your calling. Chosen ones often walk alone, not because they are forgotten, but because they are being refined. There were moments when you tried to hide that light, to soften your truth so others would stay. But every time you dimmed yourself, the world around you grew darker, and your soul ached for something higher. That ache was not weakness, it was the reminder of your divine identity. Heaven planted that ache to keep you from settling. You have wondered why you could sense when people's intentions shifted, why you could feel heaviness in a room, or discern the unseen currents behind words. Those sensitivities are not burdens, they are weapons of awareness. God gave them to you so that darkness could never deceive you. You were not made to merely survive this world, you were made to interpret it, to reveal what others overlook. The world calls it intuition, but heaven calls it discernment. That quiet knowing, that pull to step away from what seems harmless to others, it's divine intelligence operating through your spirit. You were designed to hear whispers others cannot hear. You were born to sense movement in the unseen, because you were never meant to be blinded by appearances. Your uniqueness is not an accident, it is strategy. Heaven placed you in certain families, certain cities, certain timelines, not for coincidence, but for influence. Even your loneliness had location. When you thought you were misplaced, you were actually being positioned. When you thought you were delayed, you were being developed. You are part of a pattern that stretches beyond time, the same light that guided prophets, dreamers, and warriors now burns within you. That is why you often feel both ancient and new at once, as though you remember things you've never lived, as though your soul carries wisdom older than your years. You do, because before your body took form, your purpose was already written. The Word of God speaks through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. That verse is not a metaphor for you, it is a mirror. You are living proof that heaven still ordains individuals for specific seasons. Your season is now. Your difference is your divine evidence. So stop apologizing for being what heaven designed you to be. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable with your calling. You were not placed here to fit into old systems. You were born to introduce a new one. There will always be those who doubt you, but their disbelief cannot undo what God has already sealed. The more you embrace your true nature, the more the world will react. But understand this, the opposition is not personal, it's spiritual. Darkness always rises when light begins to awaken. You will not be destroyed by it. You will be distinguished through it. Every misunderstanding, every betrayal, every quiet exile has been part of the unveiling. Now the truth settles into your spirit like fire in dry grass. You were never ordinary, and you never will be. What once made you different will soon make you undeniable. The very traits they mocked will become the signs that heaven's hand has been upon you all along. You will finally understand that being different was never isolation, it was identification. Heaven was setting you apart for impact. What once separated, you will soon shine as your divine signature. There was a night, the kind where silence felt endless, and every unanswered question echoed louder than the last. You remember it. The weight of confusion pressed so heavily that even breathing felt like an act of faith. You looked to heaven and asked, "Why me? Why so much pain? Why so much delay? Why the constant feeling of being tested when all you wanted was peace?" That night was not punishment, it was covenant. It was the night heaven signed your name in hidden fire. What you called abandonment was actually appointment. God was not ignoring you, He was marking you. You were placed under divine observation. Not because you were failing, but because you were being chosen for something only suffering could qualify you for. Every tear you cried in the dark was counted. Every time you refused to curse God and kept believing, even when belief felt impossible, heaven recorded it. You were not just surviving, you were sowing. And now, the seeds planted in pain are beginning to push through the soil of time. What you endured in silence has prepared you for revelation in public. The world celebrates strength they can see, but heaven crowns the strength that was built in secret. You have faced storms that would have destroyed others, yet somehow you remained. You prayed when it seemed pointless. You forgave when it felt unjust. You stayed soft when life tried to harden you. That is not ordinary resilience, it is divine proof. The Word of God declares in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." Your suffering has been a setup for glory. You have not wasted a single moment in the fire. The pain did not come to define you. It came to refine you. It burned away illusions, broke attachments, stripped idols from your heart, until all that remained was truth pure, unshakable faith. And yet, In those hidden hours, you questioned whether God still saw you. You thought your silence was unnoticed, your prayers unanswered. But in heaven's timeline, nothing is lost. Every cry you made was preserved in eternity, waiting for this exact moment to return as power. You are not who you were then. You are stronger, deeper, wiser, and heaven knows it. The covenant of that night still speaks. It whispers through your dreams, through the timing of events that feel too precise to be coincidence. Every closed door was the hand of God redirecting you. Every delay was the clock of heaven protecting what is sacred. Now, those moments are converging, and the meaning begins to surface. Chosen one. Do not despise the night that trained you. Without it, you would not recognize the light that is coming. You were never abandoned. You were being anointed. And the evidence of that anointing is this. Even after all the pain, your heart still believes. You are part of a hidden covenant, an agreement sealed between your endurance and God's promise. It was in that darkness that heaven decided who you truly were. You did not break there, you were built there. So now, if your spirit recognizes this truth, respond with these words in the comments. I'm still here. Oh, say it as a declaration, not of survival, but of victory. When you write those words, you are not simply commenting, you are testifying. You are telling heaven and the unseen world that everything meant to destroy you failed. You are marking yourself as one who endured the night and lived to see the dawn. The covenant you formed in silence is now bearing fruit. The story that once hurt to remember will soon become the testimony others cling to. The same night that broke you will one day be the proof that God was always with you. You are living evidence that darkness cannot kill destiny. You didn't just survive the fire, you became the flame. What once hurt you now fuels you. The pain that buried you has turned into the soil where purpose grows. This means your story is no longer about endurance, but transformation. Every scar is now sacred evidence of divine craftsmanship, proof that what the enemy meant for harm became your making. You have crossed from questioning to knowing. Heaven's silence once terrified you, but now you understand it was never absence, only strategy, preparing your spirit for revelation's weight. And now, your time begins. The covenant sealed in darkness is unfolding in daylight. The world will soon see what heaven already proclaimed: you were chosen, tested, and approved. When heaven marked you, it did not happen with thunder or fire, it happened quietly. A shift in your spirit, a moment of awareness, a sudden stillness that felt too intentional to ignore. You may not have known it then, but that was the moment heaven placed its seal upon you. From that day forward, your life stopped being random. Every encounter, every heartbreak, every closed door began to move in rhythm with something divine. Signs started appearing, numbers repeating, names echoing, dreams returning with strange familiarity. People came and went in cycles that made no sense until now. Everything that once looked like coincidence was really choreography. Heaven does not deal in accidents. When God marks a life, that life becomes a message. You are that message, written in motion. From the beginning, heaven's hand has been on you, even before you were conscious of it. The divine was tracing your path through the unseen, the strange events, the sudden disruptions, the blessings that seemed too specific. All of it was heaven's way of saying, I see you. It was not always comforting. At times, that awareness felt like a burden. You sensed too much, knew too early, felt too deeply. There were moments you wished you could turn it off and live simply, unbothered. But the mark cannot be removed. Once heaven sets its seal, you cannot return to blindness. You are meant to see beyond the surface, to recognize alignment where others see chaos. The signs followed you into every season. You began noticing how, just when you were about to give up, something shifted. Someone called, a door opened, an unexpected word reached you. It was as though heaven was speaking through the details of your days, weaving reassurance through ordinary moments. The mark on your life ensures that nothing is wasted, that every circumstance eventually serves divine purpose. Long ago, it was recorded in the scroll of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 21. By day the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light. And that is how heaven has moved with you, sometimes visible, sometimes hidden, but always present. The pillar has never left your side. Even when the light seemed to dim, guidance was still there. You were being led through deserts not to destroy you, but to develop you. The moments that felt like wandering were, in truth, direction disguised as delay. Your awareness of the mark often set you apart. Others thought you were overthinking or imagining things, but your spirit recognized patterns too deliberate to be random. You have always been tuned differently, your frequency aligned with eternity. What feels natural to you, dreams that come true, sudden waves of knowing, strong discernment are manifestations of your seal. The mark grants vision, but vision always carries responsibility. That's why your journey has demanded isolation. Not everyone can carry revelation. Some would distort it. Others would dismiss it. Heaven protected the message within you by limiting your circle. People were removed, not because you lacked worth, but because you carried something worth protecting. The solitude you hated became your sanctuary, where heaven could speak without interruption. There have been seasons where you questioned the mark, when the cost of being chosen seemed too high. You watched others move freely while you faced restriction, and you wondered if you were cursed. But what you thought was limitation was actually preservation. The mark does not make life easier, it makes it purposeful. You may not realize it, but your presence changes rooms. Environments respond to you. Your peace disturbs chaos, and your light exposes hidden motives. This is not arrogance, it is evidence. The spiritual mark on your life is heaven's signature, and everything around you reacts to it. Some are drawn to it, others are repelled. Both reactions confirm its reality. There will come a day when all of this will make perfect sense. You will look back at the patterns, the delays, the strange encounters, the miraculous escapes, and you will see the hand of God threading through it all. What seemed random will form a perfect design. The mark on your life will no longer feel heavy. It will feel holy. For now, hold the awareness gently. It is both a calling and a covering. When you doubt, remember that the same pillar of cloud and fire that led Israel through the wilderness leads you now, not always visible, but always faithful. The mark is not something you earned. It is something you were entrusted with. And though you have not yet seen its full purpose, know this: the seal of heaven never fades. Once marked, forever known. Once chosen, forever guided. Every sign that surrounds you, every whisper, every alignment is heaven, reminding you that your path is protected and your purpose is written in eternal ink. Something is stirring in the spirit. You can feel it, can't you? All across the earth. Hearts like yours are awakening at the same time. You are not alone. The sealed ones, the chosen, are beginning to rise. The rhythm of heaven is aligning them from every nation, every language, every hidden corner where light has been waiting to break through. You are part of that movement, the awakening of the sealed ones. This is the hour when heaven's plan moves from mystery to manifestation. The very air feels charged with divine purpose. And you, who once questioned whether you were seen, are now realizing that your entire life has been synchronized with others carrying the same call. The isolation you once hated was actually the signal fire that drew you together. The ones who endured what you endured, felt what you felt, cried the same prayers, they are waking up too. And as you step into this moment, heaven whispers again, now, rise together. The Spirit whispers again through the words of Joel, chapter 2, verse 7. They charge like warriors, they scale walls like soldiers. They all march in line, not swerving from their course. That is the image of what's happening now. The chosen are aligning not as an army of destruction, but of restoration. You are each a flame, and together you form a fire that darkness cannot contain. Every act of obedience, every small step of faith adds to the light that is overtaking the world. This awakening is not about platforms or power. It is about hearts returning to purpose, people remembering who they are, and light, finding light again. It is a movement born not in noise, but in quiet conviction. The sealed ones do not shout for attention. They move with quiet authority, carrying peace where others carry fear. You may not see them, but they are near teachers, healers, artists, dreamers, voices in the wilderness. Each one carries a spark, and every spark matters. You are one of them. And when you share what heaven gives you, your story, your faith, your compassion, you keep the fire alive. That is why these messages exist. They are not entertainment, they are reminders. Each word here is a spark meant to reignite your courage and your connection with heaven. And as this light spreads, it grows stronger through unity, through hearts that choose to walk together instead of alone. So, if this message speaks to you, gently tap the light press like it's more than a click. It's you adding your flame to a bonfire of awakening. Every time someone sees that glow, another heart remembers it's not alone. Share this message like you would pass a candle down a dark hallway quietly, sincerely, so that someone still wandering in night can find their way home. You never know whose tomorrow might be changed because you carried a little light today. If you haven't yet, subscribe. Think of it not as joining a list, but as planting a seed in soil that keeps bearing revelation. Each new word you receive waters the garden of your faith, helping it grow stronger with every message. And if your heart ever feels stirred to donate, do it as one who tends the fire, not out of duty, but desire. Picture a vast river of light flowing through the earth. Every act of giving becomes a drop that keeps that river moving, whether it's a coin, a prayer, or a kind word. It all returns as waves of grace. Your contribution, however small, keeps the lamps burning for those still searching. But hear this clearly. There is no price attached to this light. It is freely given. Giving is simply how light keeps flowing, one hand passing to another, one heart lighting the next. Just as rain returns to the sky after watering the earth, every act of generosity rises again as blessing. That is the unseen law of heaven. What you release in faith returns multiplied in peace. So, if you ever choose to give, do it with a smile. Do it as someone adding color to a mural of light that spans the earth. And know this truth deeply. Whether you give, share, or simply receive, you are part of something sacred. You are a keeper of the flame. Let your heart rest in that. You are surrounded by others whose fire burns with the same intensity. Together, you form the awakening that heaven whispered about long ago. And it begins right here with your light, your voice, your yes. There are moments when heaven seems silent, when the very air feels heavy, and prayers rise, but no answer returns. You have lived through those pauses, wondering if you had been forgotten. But silence is never absence. In heaven's language, silence means strategy. It is the sacred interval where faith is tested, shaped, and strengthened. You have asked, why the waiting? You have questioned, why the delay? Yet delay is not denial. It is divine timing in disguise. Heaven often holds back what you desire until your heart can handle what you are destined for. The pause is not punishment, it is preparation. Every chosen one must endure this test, the test of stillness. When the noise fades and no new word comes, you must decide whether you trust the last thing God said. The waiting season refines the soul like gold in a furnace. It burns away fear, pride, and impatience until only faith remains. According to the ancient lament written in Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 26, it is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Amen. That verse doesn't sound like power, but it is. It teaches the rhythm of heaven. While the world rushes, heaven builds in stillness. While others chase movement, heaven forms strength in quiet, surrender. You were not being ignored, you were being fortified. Think back to the times you wanted to give up, the unanswered prayers, the detours, the moments you cried, Lord, have you left me? But notice this each time you came close to collapse. Something small always appeared. A word, a stranger's kindness, an unexpected moment of peace. That was heaven's whisper saying, I'm still here. The waiting was shaping you for endurance. It stripped away your dependence on results and rerouted your faith in relationship. You learned to trust the unseen hand, to walk even when the map disappeared. That's the mark of the mature, the ability to follow light without demanding to see the full path. During those quiet seasons, heaven often hides blessings behind discipline. Opportunities are delayed, not because you are unworthy, but because they must arrive at the perfect moment. If they come too soon, they could crush what you are meant to carry. But when they come in divine order, they will lift you instead of breaking you. Waiting seasons are wombs dark, hidden, and uncomfortable, but always pregnant with purpose. Life forms in silence. The most sacred transformations happen unseen. You may not realize it. But while you waited, heaven was rewriting your strength, expanding your spirit, and aligning everything meant for you. In that stillness, You began to hear what busy hearts can't hear, the difference between noise and guidance. You started to sense that not every open door is opportunity, and not every delay is defeat. Heaven was teaching you discernment through stillness. And now, that season is closing. You can feel the shift. The silence that once stretched endlessly now feels like anticipation. The still air around you isn't empty anymore, it's full of potential. Like the moment before rain, heaven is preparing to move. But this time, you will move with it steady, grounded, and ready. You have waited long enough to understand that true faith is not built on constant confirmation. It is built on trust without explanation. That's the kind of faith that shakes the earth, the quiet kind that believes when there's no reason to, that stays when everything else says run. So now, at the turning of this chapter, you are invited to do something small yet significant. If your spirit recognizes this message as confirmation, go to the comments and type 555. Why that number? Because in the language of faith, it représente divine change, grace multiplied, and transition completed. It is not superstition, it's symbolism. When you write it, you're saying, I'm ready for what's next. I accept the timing of heaven. It's not about typing numbers, it's about marking alignment. Just as prophets built altars as a sign of remembrance, your comment becomes a digital altar, a moment that says, I heard you. Lord, I trust your silence. I am prepared for your movement. You may have waited for years, but when heaven moves, everything shifts in a moment. Your name will reach places it has never been spoken. What once delayed you will now deliver you. The season of silence has served its purpose, and the time of unveiling begins. Keep your heart soft and your faith steady. You waited well, and those who wait well always see the glory of God in ways that words cannot explain. The seasons of rejection have followed you like a shadow, haven't they? You opened your heart, offered sincerity, and yet found yourself turned away by the very ones you tried to love. You stood among crowds but felt unseen, and though you gave your best, it was often misunderstood. Rejection has been the ache that never seemed to fade. But heaven never wastes rejection. What felt like a closing door was actually divine redirection. You were not being cast out, you were being called out. The pain of being misunderstood was not a curse, it was a filter. Heaven used it to separate those who were attached to your potential from those who truly honored your purpose. You must understand this. Not everyone can recognize divine favor. Some people can only value what they can control. And when they cannot control you, they reject you. But rejection does not reduce your worth. It reveals it. Heaven allowed it so that your identity would not be shaped by approval, but by assignment. Every time you were excluded, something holy was being preserved. Had certain people stayed in your life, they might have altered your path, dimmed your fire, or silenced your truth. God did not let that happen. He hid you in plain sight, covering you with obscurity so you could grow without corruption. The dismissal that hurt you actually protected you. You've probably noticed how rejection often precedes elevation. Before destiny opens, separation must occur before the next door swings wide. The wrong voices must fade away. If you look carefully, you'll realize that every major turning point in your life was marked by loss, someone leaving, something breaking, a chapter ending. It felt like subtraction, but heaven saw addition. The Word of God reminds us through the writings in the first book of Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance. But the Lord looks at the heart. And that is why those who rejected you could never define you. They were looking at the outside while heaven was refining the inside. What they couldn't see was the treasure that time and fire was still revealing. You were never meant to be validated by the temporary eyes of man. The eyes of eternity were already fixed upon you. And now, as seasons shift, heaven is preparing what once rejected you to recognize you. The tables are turning quietly, without you needing to prove anything. Your name will surface in rooms where it was once ignored. The same people who dismissed you will witness what faithfulness produces when the hand of God is on a life. Reversal is coming, but not as vengeance, rather as vindication. You will not gloat, you will glow. The beauty of divine justice is that it never humiliates, it heals. When God restores, He does so with grace. Those who once laughed will see mercy instead of malice. And through that mercy, they will know it was never you. They were fighting, it was the hand of heaven behind you. Take a breath and release the bitterness that rejection left behind. It does not belong in your next chapter. Let forgiveness rise like sunlight over the ashes. The pain you endured has purified your heart. And that purity is your new power. You can now love without fear, give without expectation, and serve without needing recognition. Rejection was heaven's strange way of removing counterfeit crowns. You were not created to bow to shallow acceptance. You were built to carry glory. Every no you received prepared you for the yes that only God could give. And that yes is approaching quietly, powerfully, inevitably. When it comes, it will not be loud or dramatic. It will simply feel right. The opportunities meant for you will no longer require you to chase. They will meet you where you stand. What once felt like exile will transform into elevation, and the places that turned you away will open again. But this time, they will open differently. Those who once rejected you will not understand how peace still radiates from your presence. That peace will preach louder than any explanation. It will say what words cannot. That grace rewrites every story. And so, the rejected one becomes the restored one. The one cast aside becomes the cornerstone. What you endured was not the end. It was the prophecy preparing itself. Heaven never wastes pain, and you will soon see why. You will walk through familiar places with unfamiliar peace. What once wounded you will now welcome you. Every scar will shine as proof that divine rejection was sacred. Redirection. Chains do not always clang. Sometimes they whisper. They sound like doubt, fear, or the quiet voice that says, "You will never be free." You have carried invisible chains, chains of comparison, expectation, guilt, and silence. They were not made of iron, but they were heavy just the same. You learned to smile through them, to function with them, to pretend they did not exist. Yet heaven saw them all. There are two kinds of bondage, the kind the world can see, and the kind that hides behind your strength. The latter is the one heaven came to break. You have walked for years with unseen weight pressing against your spirit. You forgave others, but not yourself. You moved forward, but part of you remained bound to yesterday's pain. You told yourself you were healed, but deep down, certain memories still whispered, "You are not enough." Heaven never intended you to live half-free. True freedom is not the absence of struggle, it is the presence of truth. And truth has finally come for you. You have carried burdens that did not belong to you, words spoken in anger, mistakes that shaped your confidence, shame inherited from others' failures. These were never meant to define you, but because you carried them long enough, they began to feel like part of you. Heaven says otherwise. It was proclaimed by the prophet Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 6. Is not this the kind of fasting I have chosen, to loose the chains of injustice and untie the cords of the yoke? To set the oppressed free and break every yoke. That is what God is doing now, breaking every hidden yoke. The chains that once felt unbreakable are being shattered, one truth at a time. Freedom does not come as thunder, it comes as light. When light enters darkness, shadows lose their power. Every lie that said you were unworthy, too late, too broken, those are the lies being undone by truth. The first chain to break is fear. Fear has disguised itself as caution, as logic, as self-protection. But beneath it all, it has simply been a thief. It stole opportunities, silenced your voice, and delayed your purpose. But once you see fear for what it is, an illusion with no foundation, it loses its grip. Heaven is teaching you to walk through fear, not around it. The second chain to break is shame. Shame is heavier than sin because it convinces you that forgiveness is impossible. But grace does not negotiate with shame, it abolishes it. You are not who you were at your lowest. Every failure has already been rewritten by mercy. Heaven no longer sees the broken version of you. It sees the becoming version, the version that is rising, learning, forgiving, and walking forward. And the third chain is the weight of control. You tried to hold everything together, people. Plans, outcomes, and it exhausted you. But true power is not in control. It is in surrender. When you release your grip, heaven takes over. What you let go of in trust, God secures in grace. Freedom begins quietly. Sometimes you only notice it when you wake up one morning and realize the heaviness has lifted. You breathe differently. You move differently. The voice that once accused you grows silent, replaced by peace that does not depend on circumstances. That peace is heaven's signature of deliverance. You will still face storms, but you will no longer wear chains. You will walk through the same places that once confined you and realize that nothing binds you anymore. The doors you thought were locked were never locked at all. They were waiting for you to stop believing you were trapped. The chains were never stronger than your calling. They only seemed powerful because you forgot how powerful truth is. And truth once known cannot be unlearned. You are free. Not someday. Not when circumstances change. But now, this freedom is not loud. It does not demand applause. It is quiet, steady, and unshakable. It moves through you like wind through trees, gentle, invisible, unstoppable. You no longer fight to prove your worth. You rest in it. You no longer chase validation. You walk in revelation. Your freedom is your testimony. When others see you at peace in places where they once saw you in pain, they will understand what divine deliverance looks like. You are not who you used to be. The chains have fallen. The burden has lifted. And heaven smiles upon the sound of your freedom. You will walk lighter now, no longer defined by what tried to hold you. Every step you take is a declaration. The prison is empty, and the prisoner is free. You feel it now, the weight, the trembling, the stirring within your spirit that cannot be explained. Something holy is resting upon you. It is the mantle, the invisible cloak of divine authority, descending like fire, not to burn you, but to awaken you. This is the moment you've been prepared for through every storm, every silence, every scar. Heaven is placing responsibility on the shoulders that pain once tried to break. You are not being promoted in the world's way. This is not a title or a position, it is transformation. The mantle does not come to make you important, it comes to make you effective. It empowers you to speak what others are afraid to say, to stand where others have fallen, and to carry light into places no one else dares to go. The descent of the mantle is never loud. It comes when your heart is quiet enough to receive it. It lands on those who have endured enough loss to understand compassion and enough isolation to recognize heaven's voice when it whispers, "You are being clothed in something eternal, something that cannot be imitated or taken away." The Word of God reminds us in the second book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 15. The company of the prophets from Jericho, who were watching, said, "The spirit of Elijah is resting on Elisha." Alleh. And they went to meet him and bowed to the ground before him. That same spirit now rests upon you, not as Elijah's, but as your own unique portion of divine fire. Heaven has seen your faithfulness in obscurity and decided it is time to release visibility. You are not stepping into pride, you are stepping into purpose. The mantle does not make you greater than others, it makes you more responsible for others. The anointing that comes with it is not for self-glory, but for service. You will find that as your influence grows, your heart will be drawn toward humility, not recognition. The true mark of power is the ability to love deeply without needing applause. This mantle carries weight. It will make you sensitive to the cries of others, aware of injustice, and burdened for change. It will pull you toward prayer when the world is distracted and draw you into compassion when others respond with anger. You will begin to see differently, to look at people not through their mistakes, but through their potential. You may wonder, why me? The answer is simple: because you said yes when others said no. Because you remained faithful when no one was watching. Because you kept believing when nothing made sense. Heaven rewards hidden obedience with public purpose. Do not fear this calling. The same God who placed the mantle upon you will teach you how to carry it. You will not be crushed by its weight. Grace is your strength now. The same fire that falls to anoint you will also protect you. There will be moments when this mantle feels too heavy, when you wish you could return to ordinary life. But you cannot go back. The oil has been poured. The fire has descended, and your name has been written in the language of purpose. The world needs what you carry. And now, chosen one. If these words stir something within you, if you feel the warmth of that invisible fire settling over your shoulders, write these words in the comments. I receive it. Oh, do not write it lightly. Let it be a declaration, a covenant between your soul and heaven. When you write it, you're not just typing, you're acknowledging the mantle. You're saying, I understand the weight, and I welcome the purpose. Oh, from this day forward, you will sense it more clearly. You will walk into rooms and feel the atmosphere shift. You will speak, and hearts will soften. You will pray, and things will move. The mantle will not leave you. It will grow with you. And when doubt comes, remember this: You did not choose yourself. Heaven chose you. The mantle has found its home, and its flame now lives within your spirit. You are covered, commissioned, and called. You will notice it first in small things, the way peace stays longer, the way your words carry quiet authority. These are signs that the mantle has settled fully upon you. It will not demand attention, it will simply work through you. You will find yourself drawn to help, to heal, to speak life where silence once reigned. The fire now moves through gentleness, through acts of grace disguised as ordinary kindness. Understand this clearly. The mantle is not about being seen. It is about being sent. Every step you take now carries purpose, and every breath you breathe releases light. The call to rise in power does not sound like a trumpet, it feels like a heartbeat. You sense it inside you now, pulsing with a quiet authority that wasn't there before. Heaven has ignited something within you. What once felt like weakness now feels like focus. What once felt like confusion now feels like clarity. The mantle has become motion, purpose is becoming power. But this power is not loud. It moves like rivers beneath the earth, steady and unseen, shaping landscapes without announcement. You are one of those rivers. The world may not yet recognize what flows inside you, but soon they will see the fruit of what heaven has planted. Your voice is no longer small. Every word you speak carries resonance. Like ripples across still water, your kindness can calm storms. Your prayers can shift rooms. You are learning that true strength does not need to shout, it simply stands, and the atmosphere obeys. You will start noticing divine intersections, moments when your steps align perfectly with heaven's design. Doors that once refused to open will now swing wide. People meant for your destiny will appear like constellations forming in the night sky. These alignments are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven is saying, move forward. The time of waiting is over. The sacred text of Micah, chapter 7, verse 8. Though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. That is your anthem now. Every setback has been secretly shaping your comeback. The darkness you endured is now the proof of your endurance. You rise not in defiance, but in divine rhythm. As you step into this rising season, remember, power and purpose are not for performance, they are for transformation. You are not called to impress, but to impact, and every action, no matter how small, becomes a seed that multiplies light across the earth. This is why it matters to stay connected to the message, to the flow of revelation. Heaven is releasing. When you press like, think of it as lighting a candle in this growing cathedral of faith. It's not about approval, it's about participation. Your light joins thousands of others, and together they create warmth for wandering hearts. When you share this message, imagine releasing a dove into the world, silent but purposeful. You never know whose storm that dove might land in, bringing peace to someone who thought heaven had forgotten them. Sharing is not promotion, it's compassion in motion. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, not as an obligation, but as a declaration that you're choosing to walk in continuous revelation. Each message you receive is like a new sunrise, another reminder that God still speaks, still moves, still calls his chosen ones by name. And now, gently, about giving. Let's talk about donation. In this space, giving is not a transaction, it's transformation. Think of it as planting a tree in sacred soil. You may never see all the fruit it bears, but others will find shade beneath its branches. Your gift, whatever form it takes, helps this message reach more hearts still waiting in silence. You are never required to give. You are invited to. Every act of generosity is an echo of heaven's nature. Just as rivers never keep water for themselves, your giving becomes the flow that keeps light traveling farther. Whether it's a prayer, a share, or a seed, it all matters. If you've been blessed by what you've received, consider adding a small flame to the fire. A single spark keeps the whole campfire alive. When you support this message, you are not fueling a system, you are fueling souls. You are ensuring that the same voice that found you can find others still searching. Remember, even if all you can give is presence, that is enough. The greatest offerings are not always measured in numbers, but in heart. The simple act of listening with faith, of saying yes in silence, releases a fragrance heaven treasures. So rise now, not just in spirit, but in awareness. You are part of something vast and beautiful, a living network of light spreading across the earth. Every like, every share, every prayer, every gift is another ripple of that light. Your rise does not end with you, it begins with you. When one chosen, one stands. Others find courage to do the same. And that, more than anything else, is what heaven intended. You will soon see how small acts of light reshape entire worlds. What you release in love today becomes tomorrow's dawn for someone still in darkness. And as heaven watches, it smiles not at perfection, but at participation. Every gesture of kindness you make echoes through eternity as living worship. Darkness always notices light. The moment you began to rise, you felt it, the resistance, the tension, the sudden pressure that came without warning. It was not coincidence. Whenever purpose begins to move, opposition awakens. But this time, you are not the same person you were before. You carry light that no shadow can overwhelm. The confrontation with darkness is never comfortable, but it is necessary. You are learning that spiritual warfare is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle, a draining conversation, an unshakable doubt, an unexpected wave of heaviness. These are not random feelings, they are signals that light is advancing and darkness is reacting. Do not fear it. The enemy only fights what he fears. The warfare around you is proof of what's within you. Every attack confirms your assignment. You were never meant to live a quiet, neutral life. You were born to disrupt darkness with presence alone. Even your silence carries authority now. The Word of God reminds us in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Lo, this battle is not between you and people, it's between light and shadow, truth and deception. You are not here to fight humans, you are here to free them. You disarm darkness by refusing to hate, by forgiving when it's hardest, by walking in peace when chaos demands reaction. Your calmness is not weakness, it is warfare. Remember how you once used to panic when things went wrong? That version of you no longer exists. Now, when the storm rises, something steady within you whispers, I've seen this before, and I know who stands beside me. That confidence terrifies darkness more than any shout of victory could. You have already learned that the enemy's favorite weapon is distraction. He cannot destroy purpose, so he tries to divide focus. He sends irritation where he cannot send destruction, confusion where he cannot create loss. But when you stay anchored in peace, his weapons lose aim. The arrows still fly, but they fall harmlessly at your feet. The truth is, you have already won battles you never realized were happening. The depression that didn't consume you, the betrayal that didn't harden you, the temptation that didn't pull you away, all of these were invisible victories. Heaven celebrated quietly every time you chose faith over fear, love over resentment, worship over worry. The confrontation with darkness is not meant to break you, it is meant to reveal you. Fire exposes what cannot burn. When flames surround gold, impurities rise and disappear, leaving only purity behind. You are that gold. You are being refined, not destroyed. And yet, it's understandable if you sometimes feel weary. Even warriors grow tired. Heaven does not demand that you be unshakable every second. Strength is not the absence of weakness, it's the decision to keep standing in it. When your knees tremble, remember that angels stand beside you. When you can't find words to pray, heaven hears your silence. You will begin to notice something powerful. The more darkness pushes, the brighter you shine. The moments that were meant to bury you will become the moments that build you. What was designed to silence you will amplify your voice. You are no longer reacting to attacks. You are transforming them. Each wound has turned into wisdom. Each scar has become strategy. You now understand that spiritual warfare is not about fighting everything, it's about knowing what is worth your energy. You are learning when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait. This is maturity, the mastery of peace in the midst of pressure. And soon, you will reach a place where even warfare becomes worship. You will stop seeing darkness as an enemy and start seeing it as contrast, the backdrop that makes your light visible. Nothing the enemy does can stop what heaven has decreed. Stand still in that assurance. You have already overcome. The power within you is greater than anything that rises against you. The battle may rage, but you no longer fight for victory. You fight from it. You are not merely surviving the war, you are defining it. You are now the calm in every storm, the still point where chaos loses its rhythm. Darkness cannot touch what has already been claimed by light. Every battle now becomes a lesson, every wound a doorway. You no longer fear confrontation, you recognize it as confirmation that heaven walks with you. The air feels different now. Something within you knows that the waiting, the refining, the battles, all of it was leading to this alignment. Heaven's calendar turns, and suddenly what once felt delayed now feels divine. You can almost sense the movement around you like unseen hands rearranging the pieces of your life into perfect order. You are stepping into the circle of the awakened, those who have heard the same whisper calling them into their next assignment. You are not alone in this. Heaven never sends one light. It releases many at once so that the darkness has no place left to hide. The gathering of the chosen is happening quietly across the earth. No banners, no noisy, just hearts lighting up in harmony, each one recognizing another by the same inner flame. You can feel it when it happens. A message finds you at the right moment. A stranger speaks words that confirm your secret prayers. A door opens that had been locked for years. That's not luck, it's alignment. Heaven is bringing together the 777 generation. But this time, the number changes shape and meaning. It's not about perfection, it's about completion. You are entering the season where things finally make sense, not because the path is easy, but because you can finally see the pattern in the pain. The prophet Zephaniah once recorded heaven's vision in chapter 3. Verse 9, "Then I will purify the lips of the peoples, that all of them may call on the name of the Lord and serve him shoulder to shoulder." Now, that is what's happening now. The chosen are rising shoulder to shoulder, different stories. Same spirit. Each carries a spark. But together they form a flame that will not fade. This is not a movement of fame, it is a movement of faith. And you are part of it. You are beginning to notice how even your smallest choices ripple outward. Every act of kindness becomes a thread in a vast, luminous web, connecting hearts across distances. You may not see it fully, but when you speak light, it travels farther than you imagine. That's how the gathering works. It's not physical, it's spiritual. The number heaven places upon this moment is 888, the symbol of new beginnings and resurrection. What was once buried in disappointment is now rising in purpose. What you thought was the end is becoming the doorway to everything promised. This is not a cycle repeating, it's a chapter unfolding. And if this word resonates deep within your spirit, if you can sense the alignment happening around you and within you, then go to the comments and type 888. Do it not as routine, but as recognition. You are marking your moment in heaven's record, saying, "I am part of this new beginning. I align with what heaven is doing now." It's not superstition, it's symbolism, just as ancient prophets built altars of remembrance. This act becomes your altar of agreement. You are testifying that you hear, you see, and you are ready. And when you do, heaven notices, because alignment is not achieved by noise, it's achieved by acknowledgement. There is a sacred beauty in what is unfolding. You may not know the names of the others who are rising, but your spirits know each other. The chosen ones always recognize the echo in another's voice, the same fire behind another's eyes. When you meet them, you will feel it, a peace that says, "We've walked through the same fire." And from this unity, power will flow. Miracles will seem to happen naturally. Words will heal. Music will carry presence. Even silence will have strength. This gathering is not about creating followers. It's about awakening leaders. Each person touched by light becomes a lighthouse for others still adrift in night. So lift your head, chosen one. The alignment is here. The very things that once broke you have now built you into someone heaven can trust with influence. And as you type 888, you are not just responding to a number, you are responding to your next chapter. The gathering is not coming, it has begun. And you, whether you realize it or not, are standing in its center. Heaven smiles, earth watches, and your spirit rises to say, "I am ready." You will feel the connection in small ways. First, unexpected peace, sudden understanding, a message that arrives exactly when your heart needs it most. That's how heaven confirms alignment. Then, as days unfold, you'll notice your courage strengthening. You'll speak differently, move differently, and sense the unseen harmony guiding every step you take. The gathering has found you, Understand this clearly. You are not following light, you are part of it. The same glow that called you forward now radiates through you to awaken others still waiting. The crown has always been waiting for you. Not a crown of gold or jewels, but one of fire, an invisible mark of divine glory that can neither be bought nor removed. It is the crown forged through endurance, humility, and unwavering faith. You did not earn it through perfection, but through persistence. Every time you stood when you could have fallen, every time you loved when it would have been easier to close your heart, heaven added another spark to that crown. There is a reason the chosen walk through fire before they wear it. Fire reveals the authenticity of what is within. Gold must melt before it shines. So must you. Every hardship, every loss, every unanswered prayer has been fire, shaping your spirit into something unbreakable. You thought it was destruction, but it was refinement. You were being sculpted, not scorched. You may not see it, but the glow around you has changed. People will start to sense something different when you enter the room. They won't be able to explain it, but they will feel it. The quiet authority, the peace that follows you, the light that cannot be hidden. This is the crown of fire taking visible form. From the writings of Peter we hear this assurance. In his first letter, chapter 5, verse 10, "And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast." Now, that verse is the promise fulfilled in you. The restoration is not coming, it has already begun. You may not yet see the full beauty of what God is doing, but deep inside, you can feel it. The trembling of your old self is gone, replaced by calm certainty. You are not trying to prove anything anymore. You are simply becoming what you were always meant to be. The crown of fire does not rest on the proud. It finds the humble. It seeks those who have bowed in surrender, who have learned that power without purity is danger, and that glory without gratitude is empty. Heaven crowns those who love quietly, who forgive deeply, who carry the fire not as a weapon, but as warmth. Your journey has taught you something rare. Gentleness is strength, and patience is power. The world glorifies speed, but heaven honors endurance. You have endured, and now, because of that endurance, you walk in an authority that cannot be counterfeited. It is not loud, it is luminous. The crown of fire is not just a symbol of victory, it is a mantle of responsibility. It means you are now entrusted to carry light into dark places, to heal through presence, to speak through example. Your words matter, but your silence will matter even more. Where others argue, you will bring calm. Where others wound, you will restore. That is how royal fire moves, never reckless, always redemptive. You will begin to notice this fire guiding your responses. When anger rises, peace will answer first. When fear knocks, faith will open the door. The flame does not flicker, it teaches. It shows you how to lead without force, to love without limit, to serve without losing yourself. You will not need to announce what you carry. Fire needs no introduction. It reveals itself through its light. Those who are meant to receive from you will be drawn to the warmth, not the title. And those who misunderstand it will eventually see the truth when their own hearts are ready. This crown of fire does not lift you above others. It anchors you among them. You will find yourself drawn to the broken, the overlooked, the weary. Your light will feel like home to those who have forgotten their own. You will not need to tell them who you are. They will know by the peace that follows your presence. The fire that once tested you now trusts you. Heaven knows that you will not use it to harm but to heal. You are both the flame and the fragrance that rises from the ashes. And as you walk forward, crowned in quiet glory, even the darkness will step back to make way. You no longer chase recognition. Your reward is revelation. Every moment feels sacred now. Every breath, a prayer that doesn't need words. This is what peace after fire feels like. The crown doesn't glitter, it glows. It reminds you that you've walked through storms and found light within them. What you wear now is resilience made visible. Carry it gently. The crown of fire is not for display but for direction. Wherever you go, its light will quietly show others the way home. You can sense it, the atmosphere shifting around you. The quiet anticipation of something immense drawing near. It feels like standing at the edge of a sunrise. Moments before light spills over the horizon, heaven's timing is aligning with Earth's expectancy. The prophetic window is opening. Every season has built toward this one. The trials refined your focus. The silence sharpened your hearing. The waiting strengthened your faith. You were being prepared to see clearly when the world sees confusion, to discern purpose when others only see chaos. The veil is thinning. What was once hidden is now being unveiled. Heaven reveals things in layers, never all at once. Truth must unfold at the same pace as maturity. If revelation comes too early, it overwhelms. If too late, it withers. You are now standing in the perfect balance of readiness. What once puzzled you will begin to make sense, not through explanation, but through revelation. In the sealed book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4, the mystery is spoken, but you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. End. The sealed things are opening again. What was locked in mystery for generations is now being understood by those whose hearts are attuned to heaven's rhythm. You are among them, the ones permitted to see beyond the obvious, to interpret what others overlook. This prophetic window is not about prediction, it is about perception. Heaven is not asking you to forecast the future, but to recognize divine movement in the present. When you sense stillness, heaven is speaking. When you sense pressure, heaven is positioning. Everything now holds meaning if you have eyes to see. Do not be afraid of the magnitude of what you are sensing. The Spirit never reveals to frighten it, reveals to prepare. What comes next will not destroy the faithful, it will distinguish them. The shaking that approaches will not scatter light, it will concentrate it. What is rooted in truth will only grow stronger. You may begin to feel moments of deep awareness, dreams vivid and sharp, thoughts arriving like whispers you didn't think yourself. Pay attention. Revelation rarely shouts, it gently interrupts. Write what you see. Record what you hear. Some of what you understand today will serve others later when the moment arrives. This window of time is precious. It will not stay open forever. Like dawn, it arrives quietly and passes quickly. But those who rise in time will walk in clarity while others still stumble in shadow. The call is simple. Stay awake. Keep your heart soft. Your spirit listening. Your hands open. The world will soon chase noise, searching for meaning in movement. but heaven's secrets will rest upon those who know stillness. Your advantage is peace. You will hear what rushing souls cannot hear. You will recognize divine signs, not as coincidences, but as coordinates. Heaven is drawing a map, and you are learning to read it. Revelation will not only concern the world, it will concern you. Personal understanding will bloom where confusion once reigned. You will see why certain delays happened, why some people had to leave, why specific prayers went unanswered for a season. You will realize that nothing was random, everything was orchestration. This insight will not make you proud, it will humble you. The more you see, the more you'll understand how small yet essential your role truly is. The prophetic window shows not how powerful you are, but how precise God is. And that precision is comfort, not one event, not one tear, not one breath was wasted. When this window closes, you will carry its vision forward like light cupped in your hands, steady, sacred, and pure. You will no longer wonder if heaven speaks. You will know it always has. What changes now is not heaven's voice, but your hearing. And as the light of revelation begins to flood through, you'll understand. The future is not approaching you, it's unfolding from within you. When the window closes, what you have seen will not leave you. Revelation lingers, it becomes part of your vision, shaping how you perceive everything that follows. You will walk differently now, moving with awareness instead of anxiety. What once looked uncertain will now feel guided, as if heaven left invisible markers along your path. This understanding will make you gentle. Those who are still blind will not frustrate you. You will remember when you were once searching too. Compassion will become your prophecy. And as light continues to unfold, you will realize that revelation was never about knowing more. It was about becoming more like the one who revealed it. The silence has ended. The time for hidden voices is over. You feel it, something burning gently in your chest, rising like sunrise after years of night. Heaven no longer wants whispers buried in fear. It wants truth carried in love. You are being asked to speak not for approval, not for applause, but for awakening. Your voice is not ordinary. It is a vessel of light. Every syllable you release carries a frequency that can stir sleeping souls. For so long you have kept your story guarded, fearing that speaking it would expose your scars. But those scars are not shame. They are scripture written on your skin. What heaven told you in pain must now be spoken in purpose. Your wounds were not wasted. They were turned into words that can heal others. The voice of Christ himself declares in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 27, "What I tell you in the dark, speak in the daylight. What is whispered in your ear, proclaim from the rooftops." That is not a suggestion, it is an invitation. Heaven is saying, "Let what I placed within you finally breathe." The same breath that sustained you through storms now wants to flow through you to reach others. You are not called to argue or convince. You are called to reveal. Truth, when spoken with compassion, carries its own authority. Your voice is not the sound of rebellion. It is the echo of restoration. When you speak, chains tremble, not because you are loud, but because you are real. Authenticity has a sound. Heaven recognizes when you speak from love. Heaven amplifies your tone until it reaches places you'll never step foot in. The world does not need louder voices, it needs truer ones. The call to speak is not about volume, it's about vibration. The right word, spoken at the right moment, can become a bridge between despair and deliverance. You are that bridge now. If this message finds you where words have failed, take a quiet moment to breathe. Feel that warmth in your chest. It is heaven stirring you to share your light. When you press like, think of it as striking flint to stone. A spark leaps forward, small yet alive, joining countless others until the night begins to glow. When you share, imagine sending out a bird with golden feathers, silent, gentle, carrying fragments of hope into the skies of others' storms. Someone you will never meet might find strength because your small act allowed the message to fly farther. If your heart wishes to respond, leave a comment, not as noise, but as fragrance. Each word you write becomes a petal falling into a river of remembrance. Together they form a garden of testimony, a place where weary souls can read and feel less alone. If you haven't yet, subscribe. But don't do it out of habit. Do it as a symbolic breath. Each time a new word arrives, it's like wind entering your lungs, reminding you that revelation is ongoing, that heaven still speaks, and you are still part of the conversation. And now, softly, let's speak of giving. If your spirit feels drawn, think of your offering as water poured over seeds, not payment, but participation. Each drop sustains the garden. We are growing together, a garden of light where no one walks alone. What you give returns, not in numbers, but in nourishment, in unseen blessings that circle back like morning dew. Yet, even if you give nothing tangible, know this: you have already given something eternal by being here. Your attention, your faith, your willingness to listen are gifts of their own. Heaven measures not the size of what you give, but the sincerity behind it. Your voice matters. It always has. Every time you choose kindness over silence, truth over comfort, faith over fear, you are speaking, and the world changes quietly every time you do. So, speak as though your words are lanterns. Speak as though they were wings. Speak as though heaven itself leans closer when you open your mouth, for it does. And in this holy exchange of breath and purpose, remember, you are not repeating what others have said. You are releasing what only you were trusted to carry. Your words will travel farther than you imagine, finding hearts you will never meet. Light always recognizes light, and every truth spoken continues to echo. Each sentence you release is a bridge of healing. Somewhere, someone will breathe easier because you dared to speak. That is sacred purpose fulfilled. And when the echoes return, they won't sound like applause, they'll sound like peace. That peace will whisper, "Well done, chosen voice of light." Amen. The air grows still now, heavier yet sacred. You can almost feel the weight of heaven's eyes watching this moment, because this is where lines are drawn. Every story reaches a point where choice becomes the final test. This is that point, the final separation. It is not a punishment, it is purification. Heaven never divides to destroy it, divides to define. All through your journey, grace has walked beside you, guiding, teaching, forgiving, waiting. But now, grace stands still, watching what you choose when silence replaces instruction. This is the moment where conviction must stand on its own. No more signs, no more confirmations, just faith. According to the vision shown to John in Revelation, chapter 22, verse 11. Let the one who does wrong continue to do wrong. Let the vile person continue to be vile. Let the one who does right continue to do right. And let the holy person continue to be holy. It sounds severe, yet hidden in it is mercy. God is saying, the time for wavering is over. There comes a point when delay turns into disobedience, and indecision becomes decision. The final separation is not about heaven rejecting humanity, it's about heaven revealing hearts. What you love most, in the silence that is who you are. You can feel it, can't you? The unseen tension between what was and what must be. The weight of two worlds pulling at you, one of comfort, one of calling. The old version of you wants to stay safe, to blend in, to not risk misunderstanding. But your spirit knows too much now. Once light has been revealed, darkness can never again feel like home. This separation doesn't always appear as battle. Sometimes it looks like peace, leaving what is no longer meant for you. You'll notice conversations that lose meaning, spaces that feel heavier, people whose presence suddenly drains you. Do not mourn that distance. It is evidence of growth. You are being pulled upward, not backward. There is a holiness that cannot coexist with compromise. To be chosen is to walk in clarity even when it costs you company. But understand this, separation is never isolation when it is ordained. Heaven replaces what it removes. The quiet that follows divine endings is never emptiness, it is rearrangement. The final separation is not only external, it happens within. You are being divided from your old habits, your fears, your need to please. Parts of you that once dictated your choices are losing their hold. This is not loss, it is liberation. The inner voices that once competed for control are fading. In their place rises a steady certainty that only heaven could plant. There will be moments when you look back, wondering if you made the right choice. You will remember faces, places, memories. Some will ache. But remember, the pain of obedience always leads to peace, while the comfort of compromise eventually leads to chaos. What hurts now will heal into clarity. You will notice how light begins to respond to you differently. Paths once unclear will open without effort. The heaviness that clung to you will fall away quietly. Even your dreams will change, less noise, more direction. That is how you know you've crossed the line heaven drew for your good. This separation marks the beginning of sacred maturity. You are no longer carried by emotion, you are guided by conviction. You no longer ask for constant reassurance, you simply trust. This is what heaven was preparing you for, not a life free from difficulty, but a life free from confusion. And though few may understand it, this separation is your coronation. Every detachment is a declaration. You belong to light now. You walk in alignment with truth. Even when it isolates you, you have been sifted, sanctified, sealed. The division has done its work. Stand at peace in it. You are not losing your world. You are finding your real one. Let what must fade, fade. Let what must remain, remain. The fire has drawn the boundary, and you have chosen the side of light. From here forward, everything you touch will carry that mark: clarity born of separation, love purified by truth. You will not chase what leaves, you will bless it. Some things must go, so new life can breathe. What departs now is only making space for grace. Peace will follow you like a shadow, gentle and unbreakable. What once drained you will no longer reach you. Your spirit has changed its language. And when you look back, you'll realize the separation wasn't an ending, it was an unveiling. What you thought you lost was really your true self, returning. And now it comes the unveiling of everything. The silence, the fire, the tests, the waiting, the separation, all threads of one divine tapestry now revealed before your spirit. What once felt scattered suddenly forms, meaning every tear, every prayer, every delay has arranged itself into the shape of destiny. This is the revelation of everything. You were never walking in circles, you were walking in preparation. Each step you thought was wasted was actually leading you to this moment of unveiling. Heaven's design was never rushed. It was refined through time, woven through obedience and surrender. The light that flickered in the beginning now burns steady, filling every shadowed corner of your being. You no longer search for confirmation, you carry it. The last echo of Scripture resounds in Revelation. Chapter 21, verse 6. It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give water without cost, from the spring of the water of life. These are not just words, they are fulfillment. The circle has closed, and the story has come full. You are standing at the point where past pain meets future promise, where the fragments finally form a whole. This is what heaven meant all along. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. The revelation of everything is not an explosion of answers. It is a calm understanding that no piece of your journey was wasted. You see now that purpose was hidden even in heartbreak. That protection sometimes disguised itself as rejection, and that silence was God's way of strengthening your sight. Revelation is not a reward, it is relationship. It means you have walked closely enough with the divine to begin to understand its heartbeat. You no longer ask, "Why me?" because you have seen enough to whisper, "Thank you." The gratitude that fills your soul now becomes worship without music, prayer without words. You realize that heaven was never far, it was always within reach. The voice you once strained to hear has become the rhythm of your thoughts, the peace within your pulse. You are no longer chasing signs, you are living as one. The revelation has transformed you from seeker to carrier, from listener to lighthouse. Everything around you now seems brighter, not because the world has changed, but because you have. What once looked ordinary now gleams with divine fingerprints. You can see heaven in a stranger's smile, in the wind moving through trees, in the quiet moments when peace feels close enough to touch. The revelation of everything is not about knowing all mysteries, it is about recognizing God in every breath. This moment marks not an ending, but a transformation. You are stepping into the flow of eternity while still walking on earth. You will speak with clarity, act with compassion, and live with conviction. The world will notice not because you shine for yourself, but because you reflect something far greater. And when you encounter storms again, you will not panic. Revelation gives perspective. You will remember that light always finds its way through clouds, that pain cannot erase purpose, and that faith is not a feeling, it is a foundation. You have become unshakable, not because you are perfect, but because you finally know where your roots are. This unveiling changes everything. It turns fear into understanding, waiting into worship, endurance into enlightenment. You no longer walk hoping to be chosen. You walk knowing you are. The revelation of everything is not about endings, it is about eternal beginnings. Stand in this light. Let it fill you until it overflows. Let it teach you that revelation was never about arrival, but awareness that heaven was never distant. It was dwelling inside you all along. And as you step forward into what comes next, remember, what has been revealed cannot be unrevealed. You are the living proof that the divine plan works through brokenness, patience, and persistence. The story has unfolded. The mystery has become message. The chosen have become the carriers of glory. The revelation is complete. And yet it continues, because revelation is not an event. It is a way of being. And you, chosen one, are now living proof that heaven keeps its promises. You will walk forward without fear, for understanding has replaced uncertainty. Every step now feels guided. Every silence filled with assurance that you were never walking alone. Peace will be your crown, and wisdom your language. Even in noise, your soul will remain quiet, hearing heaven's voice where others hear only wind. And when you speak again, the world will listen differently. Your words will not echo, they will root, taking life in the hearts of those ready for light. The story has found its rest, but the light continues. You have walked through revelation, through silence, through fire, and emerged as proof that purpose survives everything. Now, as these final words settle, you stand not at an ending, but at a doorway. The path beyond is yours to walk, illuminated by what has awakened inside you. If this message has stirred something in your heart, let that feeling guide you. When you press like, imagine placing a single star in the night sky. One small spark becomes part of a greater constellation that reminds others they are not alone. When you share, picture releasing a feather into the wind. You do not know where it will land, but heaven does. Somewhere, someone in darkness will see that message float by and remember that hope still lives. If you feel moved to comment, let it be your echo. Write what you feel, not what you think should be said. Your words become soft ripples that reach unseen shores, comforting souls who thought they were the only ones feeling this way. And if you wish to stay connected, subscribe as an act of belonging. It's like keeping an open window for light to visit again. Each time a new message arrives, it will find you ready, expectant, and still glowing. Finally, if your heart inclines toward giving, think of it as placing a small flame upon the altar, not obligation offering. Every flame keeps this space warm for the next traveler who arrives searching for meaning. This is how light multiplies. One act, one spark, one heart at a time. And as you go, carry this truth. What was spoken to you is now yours to live. The journey continues, and you are the living message.